After God had created the first man and the first woman, he told them that they were basically free to do whatever they wanted, except eat from one particular tree. This tree was that of the knowledge of good and evil. God told them that if they were to eat the fruit off of that tree, they would die. It's a pretty simple command. Do not eat that. No apparent special reason is given for the creation of the tree, but it is clear that upon eating its fruit, one is able to know right from wrong. One can conclude that the tree gave man a conscience, or that the decision of eating the fruit caused man to develop a conscience. Indeed, it is clear that today's properly functioning human being has an intuitive knowledge of what is right and what is wrong. God foresaw that man, in knowing good and evil, would be able to knowingly choose the latter, hence separating himself from God. On top of that, eating of the fruit was itself evil, being against God's wishes, which are grounded in what is intrinsically good. Please process the aforestated information before continuing. Had the tree not existed, there would have been no choice for man but to follow God's will, as there was no other accessible action which God did not approve of at the time. In other words, think about putting someone on a road and telling them that they can go whichever direction they wish. If there were no fork in the road, and there was no other roads connecting to it, telling him that he can go whichever direction he wants is a meaningless statement, since there is only one direction he is capable of going. Since doing something evil is simply doing something other than what God wants you to do, if God wanted us to be able to decide for ourselves, there had to be a choice which was evil. Having provided a tangible crossroads between obedience and disobedience, and having his creation choose the wrong path, God would naturally start over, correct? Well, no. In doing so, he would still be denying man a choice in the matter, bending man to his will after the fact rather than by lack of choices at the start. God would also not decide, foreseeing the consequences beforehand, not to create man at all. For such an action would be nothing more than a preemptive strike on man's free will. We humans would still have been denied the privilege of choosing our own destiny. God would have looked at what we were doing and then would have gone back and made sure that we would be incapable of doing it. The mode of accomplishing this, not creating us, is actually secondary, since the goal and end result is to deny us the choice of choosing a different path than what God wants us to take. There actually is another problem with proposing this preemptive strike, which I will not get into here. Let's just say it has something to do with how omniscience works. So, having eaten from the tree, man was given the knowledge of what is right and what is wrong. The action itself was also his first sin. The only thing he already knew was wrong, having been told directly by God himself. This caused creation, which God had given to man for his stewardship, to begin to die or run down as a result of being partially separated from the influence of its creator.